Hello everyone. Welcome to our first session of GDSC for this year. There will be many more to come. And remember to turn on your camera and mute your microphone. So this is gonna be an info session. So Dio, what are we gonna do today?
I think it's a pretty common session that all GDSC have for their first initial session. So first of all, there will be intro and info about being a member that will be explained by staff, our dear leader. And then next up, there's our solution challenge that Philip will explain, and the JuaraAndroid. So I'm gonna give the spotlight to the staff to explain about the intro and info about being a member.
Next slide, please. Okay, so hello, I'm Stephanie. I am the GDSC lead for this academic year, and I want to welcome all you guys to our first event info session, GDSC info session for this academic year. So welcome, and I also want to talk about how to be a GDSC member and why and what you get to be a member of GDSC. Next, please. So first, we want to welcome you all to our GDSC BINUS International, where we provide English-based events such as workshops, talks, interviews, and also things around Google technologies. Next, please. I also want to introduce you guys to our core team this year. I'm Stephanie. I'm the lead for this year, and then I also have Philip as my co-lead, and then have Jason Christian and Jason Jeremy for our advisor. And then we also have Izam, Michael, and Raihan as our developer, and Shaluna and Maria as our developer. And we also have Rachel, Josh, and Nadia as our communication team, and then Arish and Dio as our presenter, and also Rafael as our secretary. So feel free to contact any of us if you have any questions around GDSC or even around Google or events, or if any questions about anything, we'll reply to you. So next slide, please. So first of all, what is GDSC? GDSC is an abbreviation for Google Developer Student Clubs, where we are a community group where we all are interested in Google Developer technologies, but morely focused on university students, and also how do we use those Google technologies to help our society. For example, later Philip will talk about solution challenge, where you can pick one of the UN SDGs and use Google technologies to create a product that can help our society. Next, please. So what do we do in GDSC? There are three things that we do in GDSC. First is connect, learn, and also grow. First, for Connect, we will meet like a bunch of people from around the world that also share the same interest in technology, and they're not only computer science, but we also welcome all majors and all backgrounds to join this club. And then next, we also have learn. Learn is to learn a bunch of skills, and also soft skills or hard skills to learn, and also to improve, and also use Google technologies to improve our society. And then lastly, we have grow, where we will help each other. And then, for example, the core team will help you guys to learn about a certain technology, and also you guys can use technology to teach other people, and also help them grow as a community. Next, please. So these are the technologies from Google that you can use as a developer. You guys can visit developers.google.com/products to see the things that you guys can use to create an app or even a product to support your projects. For example, you have Android, Google Cloud, Firebase, TensorFlow, and even like web development. Next. So these are our past events. You can learn those technologies from our past events. For example, we also have some partnership with like a company that will talk about technology, and then connect with another section of work. And also we have like workshops about React last time with Jason Christian, our advisor. And also we also have a little talk with other GDSC from BINUS, for example, BINUS Malang and BINUS Kemanggisan. Next. Not only that, we also have external events from, for example, we had Droid Jam a couple weeks ago that was organized by GDG, or Google Developer Group Jakarta, and then that's for Jakarta based. But then we also, for nationally, for Indonesia, we have Juara GCP or JuaraAndroid, where you can learn Android or Google Cloud for free, and then you guys can collect badges and then get prizes. And then next, for internationally, you have Solution Challenge, where you can build products to help society. Next, please. So you guys might ask, how do you guys join as a GDSC member? So stay till the end of this event to get the checkout and membership link. And then to get into the membership, you just have to join our WhatsApp group, and you can find the link in the form. Okay, next. Yep, thank you. That's all from me. I'll give it back to the presenters. Thank you.
So the solution challenge. I think that's the main point of Google thingy, right? Because you wanna go to the competition, get some prizes, get your name on the website, on the Google website. So and joining the GDSC member is important, because in order to join the solution challenge, one of you must be one regular member or the core team of the GDSC. So I don't want to talk anymore about membership because Philip is going to talk about the solution challenge. Please welcome Philip.
Yo, what's up, guys? First of all, I just want to say that it's a pleasure to actually be able to talk and basically have my own speaking platform, because last year I was MC, but now I'm a co-lead. So I just want to first and foremost say that it's been a pleasure so far working with Steph as the new lead as well as the new core team. So yeah, I just want to say that in advance. So yeah, let's get started. Solution challenge. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now basically, solution challenge is a mission to solve one or more of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals using Google technologies. So in other words, it's essentially kind of like a tournament, maybe, or a competition, basically, where people from around the world, they're basically have to choose these SDGs by the United Nations, and they have to maybe develop an app, a program, or something like that, using Google technologies. And yeah, you'll win some stuff, and let's get into that. Next slide, please. Now, what is a sustainable development goal? Well, I'm sure you've learned this in maybe some of your classes like hatchery or cider or like entrepreneurship. But essentially, it's basically these different goals that the United Nations developed, where it's basically a lot of the world's problems that we're all trying to solve. So essentially, this solution challenge is finding the solution to these different problems with the use of Google technologies. So yeah, let's go to the next slide. Once you win, well, here are the prizes for applying for the solution challenge and actually getting the dub at the end of the day. You can get t-shirts, certificates, mentorship. If you're top 10 finalists, you can win $1,000 worth of that. And a cash prize, as well as if you're a top 3 winner, you get $3,000. And yeah, it's pretty damn good rewards, if I'm being honest. Like, you just apply for this, and you know, you get a lot of things for it. And by the way, oh wait, can you go back to the last slide? Yeah, sorry, Michael. So yeah, as you can see, plus community service hours. If you're Binusian, yeah, if you apply for the solution challenge, you can also get community service hours if you keep your app up and running for 6 months after the solution challenge. And this stacks your community service hours. You get full 30 community service hours, like the ones that you need to graduate. So all you have to do is apply for a solution challenge, and you know, you're basically done with your community service hours. So yeah, keep that in mind, boys. Next slide. So you might be asking, oh, the solution challenge seems pretty neat, but how do I exactly join? Well, here are basically the steps. So first and foremost, I'm pretty sure you heard Steph talk about it. You have to be a member of this club first and foremost. You have to have at least one participant in the solution challenge who is part of the GDSC as a member, yeah. And you know, just like sustainable goal, and then you develop your plan, and you end up making your application and can use any of the aforementioned Google technologies that Steph talked about: Firebase, Flutter, Android, stuff like that. Yeah. I think for the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, uh, BINUS International actually did win top 3. But last year we didn't take the dub again, unfortunately. But let's try and get this dub, boys. So next slide will be basically last year's winner. These were from Vietnam, so I'm not gonna speak anymore, and I'm gonna let them do the talking. So yeah, play the video, please.
In the post-COVID-19, none of us expect the extent by the pandemic. We need to protect ourselves and others, and it's vital to manage and control public check-in data. We introduced Gateway, an open-source IoT solution, as a COVID-19 digital check-in system. Our main goal is to enable communities to build a low-cost and effective way to support the existing contract tracing solution. In detail, users will interact with the mobile app following World Health Organization COVID guideline, measuring their body temperatures, health declaration, and the system will automatically detect their face mask. The user information will be available in real time to a web dashboard made by Angular's and Firestore. By leveraging Google technology, it will reduce our development time significantly, and the only thing we need to focus on is our ideas and how to transform those into a practical solution. Moving to sustainable development goal, we focus on good health and well-being as our primary goal. The solution enables communities to build a low-cost and effective way to support the existing contract tracing solution, where those that could be automatic and ensure personal health condition. We received great feedback from our communities. First, faster than traditional contract tracing. Second, simple to set up and effective during rush hours. Our second goal, partnership, we innovate from prototype into actual 3D printed enclosures, an installation guide to allow young engineers to learn and assemble our product. We believe that it will be our third value for sustainable cities and communities, where we must take steps to respond to secure public health measures beyond the outbreak and set the scene for resilience and recover in the pandemic.
Yeah, so that's basically last year's top 3 winner. This was from Vietnam. I love Vietnam, by the way. And yeah, they got top 3 win. So let's hope that this year around we get Indonesia. So I just wanna also inform you guys that we'll have our own official info session for the solution challenge itself. So for now, this is, kind of a bit of a teaser. It's just kind of to let you guys know about it in advance, so that you guys, can come up with your ideas, start, because the actual solution challenge will open, I think, around January or February. Is that right, Steph? Yeah. So just be on lookout, guys. But yeah, for now, that's just a bit of a teaser. We'll have our own info session for it by itself. So I think that's all for me. So yeah, thank you guys.
Hey, that was pretty interesting. Like joining the solution challenge, guys, you can get 30 community service hours. That's a lot. And I joined as well last year, but due to some technical difficulties, I had to stop early. But I hope you guys are interested in it and you're gonna join. And a bit of advice, I think you guys should start like kind of looking into it from now if you want to start, because you can start anytime and then just like send your ideas in January. Other than that, I think right now we are having some kind of workshop as well that Aizam is gonna talk to you about right now. It's called JuaraAndroid. So I'll let the floor to you.
Hello guys, how's everybody doing? Who here interested in developing Android app, or maybe you guys can like give reaction? Maybe who here interested in, for example, the language to develop Android app? I see 1, 2. Nice. Okay. Good. So today, I'm going to share about what JuaraAndroid is. So basically, JuaraAndroid is a self-study program to help new developers to learn Android development. So you can join right here, right now, by clicking this link. So type Google goo.gle/Juara-Android. You can access it right away. And there you can find like all the guidelines. For example, the first step right here says that you need to set up your Google developer account. So if you haven't set up, I highly recommend you to set up your Google developer account. And then after you have done setting up, if you're experienced an Android developer, you can choose Jetpack Compose for Android developer path. Or if you're a beginner or like you don't have much coding experience like me, I highly recommend choosing Android Basics with Compose. There you will learn about Kotlin, one of the programming language to develop Android, and you'll learn about Compose. It's a toolkit to develop Android UI, user interface. But for now, don't worry about these terms for now, because you will learn these things throughout your JuaraAndroid learning journey. So yeah, once you set up your Google developer account, you can start learning. There you will find like a bunch of units, and each units, after you've finished the units, you will get a badge. Once you collect all the badges from like all the units, you can claim your swags. Basically, swags like this, like you can claim your Android stickers, you can claim your Android keychains and tumblers and so on before 30th of October. So yeah, I think this program is definitely a win for the Android developer. Yeah, I think that's it from me. Back to you, Irish.
Hey, so you guys should join this too as well, because I think this is gonna be very helpful as well for the solution challenge for those who want to participate. Because I kind of started the program and it's giving a lot of like the basics. So even if you don't know anything about coding, this introduces you to like the simple the simple stuff. So it will be really good for you guys to join and learn a bit more about Kotlin. So Dio, we should talk a bit more about the experience in GDSC, shouldn't we? Like how are you doing as a core team? You have been in here for like 1 year, haven't you?
Oh, okay. So at first, before I apply for the GDSC, I was a little bit scared because, like, from the name, it's maybe a big organization, but after I joined and I met this very kind core team, very cooperative teammates, I'm starting to be very grateful to joining this core team. I get to know a lot of people, not only from BINUSian, but the other BINUSian. It's obviously GDSC also, and I get a lot of experience from GDSC. And next year, if you're interested, please join, apply, and meet us on the interview.
Yeah, very true, guys. I was also like a member last year and I joined a lot of workshops. So this is a very interesting experience. Like you're learning about a lot of things. I think last year I joined a few workshops about coding and yeah, I learned a lot of things. And right now I joined the core team and so far the experience is going pretty well. So if you guys want to join, don't hesitate. Just decide on what you're good at. Maybe you're good at coding. Maybe you're better at like doing communication stuff. You're better at like presenting. You can join any division. Try the interview next year. So right now we're gonna have a bit of talk with one of the the previous lead, JJ. So he's gonna talk to you a bit more about programming, and hopefully he's gonna get the beginners into it.
Oh, all right. My time, yeah. All right. Guess we can start. Can everybody hear me? Okay, thumbs up. All right. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to our info session today. My name is Jason Jerry Wijadi. People just usually call me JJ. And today I'll be talking about programming in real life. Next slide. So it's a bit of an overview of what we'll be discussing today. So we have a welcome for everyone here coming to our info session. We're going to be talking about programming in general, just a bit about programming itself, and then a bit on the breadth and the depth of knowledge that you may want to have later on, the paths that you can take later on, and also the technology that you can use from Google. We're also going to be having a Q&A session for anybody still interested in any questions. Okay, slide. So welcome to GDSC BINUS University International. I was the previous lead for this chapter of GDSC. I hope that all of you guys this year and also the years later on will be able to join as a member and maybe even a core team later on in the future. We'll be having a lot of seminars, we'll be having a lot of workshops later on. We hope that you guys can join to just gain some knowledge and also get to know the community a bit more. Next slide. All right, so this is just a little bit about me. Before uni started, I actually didn't have any programming background before. I barely did any programming, even if you wanted, maybe you want to count Scratch into that experience. So before that, I was my school's photographer. So this picture, I'm just gonna give some examples from that time. So this picture was during my high school's last get together. So we went to one of the islands in the Java, and we got to enjoy the experience. Next slide. This is also my experience in concert photography before one of the Indonesian bands performing. Next slide. And also a bit on my school's events. This is for my school's cup for basketball. And also, next slide. I also was part of a big community in Indonesia. Maybe it's a big but also niche community. It's called Ultimate Frisbee. I was the main photographer for a lot of their events back in the day. Next photo. Yeah, this is also my high school team also joining in during the competitions. Next photo. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the background for me. So just to clarify, I didn't have any programming background before I started uni. And here I am being one of the former leads of one of the biggest clubs in our university, actually being able to attend and talk about programming to all of you. Next slide. All right, so programming, yeah. I think you've seen from what Steph and also what Philip just brought out today before my session. It's about JuaraAndroid, about solution challenge, about all the other workshops and also seminars that we're going to have in the future. It may seem to be daunting when you're starting out in the beginning. For people, you don't know if you want to start. Maybe it's going to be hard to like pick a programming language to start with, or maybe your uni already has assigned you to maybe what Python or C, C++, maybe Java, and yeah, all those programming languages can be a bit tough to take in, especially in the beginning. This one on the right in the slide is Go. It's also another programming language, relatively new one, but slowly on, if you start to gradually learn step by step, you will see that a lot of the programming languages actually have a lot of things in common. Things like variables, loops, functions, life cycles, things like that, classes, objects, dependencies, things like that are a lot of the terms are shared around in the programming languages, and they're just reused in a different syntax, a different kind of way to write from the beginning. Maybe some of you who's in semester 1 right now, or people who have already went to semester 3 and me in semester 5, we see things like this. This is a relatively new programming language that wasn't taught in university, Go. And you can see a lot of things that are maybe very similar to what you've already studied a bit on. For example, here we see that there's a function called main, there's constants, there's variables inside, there's assigning, there's a print function, things like that. A lot of these are very shared amongst a lot of programming languages. So it may seem daunting in the first start to start a new programming language or just to start programming at all. But once you get the hang of it, once you get the start and the basics of it in one language at least done, going to another programming language and later on, it will be much more, it's going to be a much more smoother process. It's going to be something that you recall from the back of your head. Next slide. Another thing that I want to discuss is on the why we do things that we do in programming. There's a lot of reasons why you may want to be getting into computer science or just programming in general, maybe to get a degree or to get a, I don't know, profitable job in the future, things like that. But what I want to point out for today is, trying to discuss why you want to do things, you want to do this programming stuff, and why we do what we do. So at least for me, what I want to explore during my time as a programmer is, next slide, is to create something out of nothing. I think this is a very beautiful interpretation of what coding is, what programming is. Maybe, for example, like an artist with a paintbrush. You'll be able to create something from your paintbrush, your paint palette, things like that, to a beautiful image or a beautiful landscape. There's a lot of things that you can create just from the tools that you have, a paintbrush, pencils, things like that. For us, I guess the equivalent for programming people is being able to create something out of nothing. What we have is just a keyboard, display, a monitor, maybe not even that. And we will be able to create things, applications, websites, web apps, things. There's a lot of things that we can create. And it's from this medium that we have of programming, from our keyboard and the knowledge that we know, things like data structures, algorithms, and things like that. There's a lot of things that we have on our hands, and we can create something out of nothing. So that's what I want to try to focus on for, I want to put you guys to focus on for later, is what is your reason, your why, into why you started out on programming and why you want to continue on in the future. Next slide. This is a bit also on the topic of programming and about tech in general, maybe about future jobs also. The breadth and the depth of knowledge. How much or deep that you need to know about a certain topics or multiple topics later on. So we start here with our line over here, our yellow line. This is our broad general knowledge, the things that we know broadly, things that we know pretty much like surface level. And it's not something that we truly like focus on really that deep. We just know like some stuff about it. Maybe like Python, you know, like about functions, loop, things like that. Same with the other languages, you know, a lot of the basic stuff. But later on, what you actually want to be focusing on is, next slide, is the continuation of that. Something that you want to go deeper on, something that you want to go more focus on as a specialist of that topic. So for example, there's a lot of things in mobile development. For example, like what Izam just mentioned is Android with Kotlin. There's also the other side of from Apple, which is iOS. So we have Swift there. There's a lot of things that you can focus on for mobile, in this case, like one topic, but you want to be specializing on one or two of those cases. Next slide. So you can also be focusing on not only one topic, but also two topics. So we have mobile, you want to be focusing on, for example, Android, and maybe on web, you maybe want to be focusing on front end or the back end, becoming a specialist in that area. This means that you know a lot of things, but you really are focusing on these two things in general. But we also have an evolution of that. Next slide. We have the one with the 4 specialist sites. So for tech at least, we want to be knowing a lot of things. We have a lot of broad general knowledge, but we also want to have things that we want to be focusing on, things that we are specializing on, so that we can spare our time for the things that we really want to focus on, and what we want to also be selling to the people that maybe want to hire us, that maybe want to recruit us later on. So we know what to sell, basically. And these are all called the T-shape, pie-shape, home shape. This is your skill level. So maybe for people who are starting out, usually people are more I-shaped or T-shaped. They know a lot, but they just want to be focusing on one thing at a time. But if you become more versatile later on, you can become a pie-shaped skill person, or even a home-shaped or M-shaped skill person. Next slide. These are also some paths that you maybe want to be able to explore later on. So throughout maybe your university life and also your programming journey, you maybe want to be focused, you may be introduced to a lot of topics, I don't know, like front end, web, maybe even mobile applications, desktop applications, machine learning, things like that. There's a lot of things that you can be get your focus deep onto all those things. But which one do you really want to be focusing on later on, when maybe you've already graduated, or maybe you also want to apply for your job? Which one do you actually want to be? So there's things like a front end for the UI and UX part, the design of the actual application. There's the back end, who focuses on the actual inner workings of the application. Full stack people focus on both. There's also mobile, so for people who want to be focusing on making applications for their phones. DevOps for people who are focusing on the actual deployment and the orchestration of everything. Software engineer, more of a catch-all term for a lot of these things. A data scientist, or even maybe a project manager. And the list goes on. There's a lot of things that you can explore for the tech industry. And while you go through your university life and while you go through your programming journey, you maybe want to be focusing on which one that you actually feel that you fit right into, and which one do you feel it's much more fun to work on. Next slide. So yeah, this is some of the tech that you also can explore to go to these paths that you may want to go deeper in. So we have Android and Flutter for the development, for the mobile development side. There's Angular for web, Golang for the backend. There's Firebase for database, and also some web application stuff. There's the Google Cloud Platform for DevOps, and there's also TensorFlow for machine learning and also data scientist stuff. There's a lot more actually Google technologies that I'm not including here yet. We just want to be focusing on these stuff first. And what I want to emphasize is that these Google technologies, their main focus is to bridge the gap between the theory, the things that you actually learn, and the real world, the practical things that you actually want to make later on. Next slide. And I just want to close this talk off with a quote from Linus Torvalds, which is, any program is only as good as it is useful. So yeah, at least one takeaway from this talk, if you want to take away anything from this talk, is that if you want to program anything, if you want to make an application, make sure that it is at least useful or practical. Next slide. Okay, thank you. That's it from me.
Okay, thank you so much, JJ, for the presentation. So I think this is the time if you guys have any question, or if you're curious about anything about what's JJ's already talked about, please don't hesitate to maybe open your mic or put your question on the chat box. But I think we got one question from Lunan. So hi there, not sure if but is this solely geared towards Android's OS? Can someone help me answer it?
I think that's the question related about JuaraAndroid.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, this, but sure, but you can like learn Kotlin in general as well, and Compose as well. But like if you want to develop like Android app, it's up to you. But this Android camp, yeah, will specifically learn about Compose and Kotlin. Yep.
Okay. Rich, you wanna add something to JJ?
What can I say? I have a question actually. JJ, what do you want to do with your programming? Like, what do you want to do in the future? As you're following all of those, like joining GDSC, and what's your plan?
Interesting question, Yavish. For me, even when I'm already semester 5 right now, I'm still not pretty sure, not very clearly sure on which path that I really want to go into. So yeah, don't be surprised if people from like semester 1, semester 3 right now, if you still don't know what you want to be focusing on. Even I still am not pretty sure on which one I want to be focusing on. But right now, my eyes are kind of set on web, and also maybe a bit on the DevOps side.
Oh, totally agree with that. Even I'm not sure what I'm gonna do later, so I guess don't stress, guys, if you don't know yet. I also wanna ask Philip about like the solution challenge. Since I dropped early, I think Philippus went until the end. So how was the journey toward making your project?
Hello, Arsh. So yeah, I also was in the solution challenge for last year. I tried with my friends, but they weren't from BINUS. It was just me, and I was the only GDC member, and I kind of got them in, and we were on board to make an app. And yeah, we kind of tried. We actually did end up making it, but unfortunately, we didn't end up submitting. It was a Flutter project, if I'm mistaken. It was supposed to be like an application that would be kind of like for therapy, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, we had an idea and we tried, but I think there was not enough preparation, and we were a bit busy with I think we were in our second semester or first semester, so yeah, we were still a little bit like busy, and we kind of had our hands full. So I think in terms of my experiences, I think my best advice for the solution challenge would be to start in advance and just have everything laid out and plan ahead, because I think me and Irish can both relate on that aspect where we kind of feel unprepared, and it was kind of on the spot. So yeah.
Rich, wanna discuss a bit about the previous question? Like both you and JJ don't know like what you're gonna do in the future. But I think I found like a difference between you and JJ. Like JJ is confused, because he's good at everything, but you confused because you don't know anything.
Well, I guess I guess that's true. I'm mainly confused because I'm not really into computer science that much. I really enjoy coding, and I'm doing computer science because everyone is saying that it's a path to the future. But my main interest is somewhere else. So, but maybe it's gonna convince me. I've been doing a lot of like applications and all of like programming, and it's getting kind of fun. So, we never know. I also participated in the solution challenge with Stephanie. We didn't submit either because we started pretty late. So, but the journey at the beginning was pretty fun. So yeah.
So guys, any other question?
Yeah, feel free, guys. If you have any question about maybe the membership or maybe even the core team, how to join, what do we do, you can always ask.
I just want to add up on the reason why we have this info session today, and also introduce you guys to solution challenge is because the same reason with Arish and also Philip. Maybe because we previously we have like less time for preparing the solution challenge. We knew about the solution challenge about like January, and then I think the submission date was like March or April, and I think okay, Lunar for now, we don't have like the clear date, but maybe it's around that month too. So that's why we as the GDSC for this academic year, we're planning to tell you guys and give out the information as soon as possible, even just a rough sketch of what is solution challenge, so you guys can maybe create maybe an idea or also maybe start to develop a product already. And so by January, we probably just gonna discuss like about development, or even like if you guys want, we can have like a pitch session so people can maybe give feedback about your products, and you can also be search for members for to help you develop your product too. So yeah, for the deadline, maybe like around April or March. Is that right, JJ, for last year?
Yep, April or March.
Yeah.
They're like on 3 or 4 months since the announcement.
Yeah, so basically everything counts. Every code counts since January or even like July this year. So if you guys can like make it like from now, you guys have more time to develop and to create more things. Yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, and in terms of that, don't worry about missing, like there are no real interviews. I think there's nothing such as interviews, but you won't miss it because we will have a special session for it. So stay tuned to our Instagram, and this session will also be recorded, by the way, guys. So it's gonna be on YouTube. So follow our YouTube channel as well. I have more question on my side for our lead over here, Stephanie. As like I guess some of the people over here might be interested in joining the core team next year. So I want to ask about the workload. How is the workload as like a GDSC core team?
Well, I don't think I can say because I'm a leader, so I'm not the one that actually doing the work. But from past the last year, I was in the core team for project manager, and then for project managers, roughly the same with like developer position right now. So probably if you're interested, like we're gonna create like website and products for our GDSC. And also I think it's a great way to also do like solution challenge for the core team, because we get like more informations and also you get more tools. And yeah, you can also learn with other Google and other GDSC chapters from all around Indonesia, even all around the world, because it's you get like more international connections. Even I think if you're a core team, I think this December we will have like a global networking with other GDSC for all over the chapter around the world, and just really amazing. And for the workload, I think it's pretty manageable from me, at least like from last year. I don't know. What about you guys from the first event for this event? What do you guys think?
Dio.
I'm sorry. I was lagging. Okay. What was the question? Sorry.
View, what do you think about the workload for like the first, like I think this academic year for as a presenter?
Oh, okay. So far as a presenter, I think the workload is kind of. I think it's quite easy though, because we're just gonna have some feedback on the rundown, and then after that we're gonna just practice, and then yeah, that's it. And I think as for me personally as a presenter, I think it's a new experience for me, because I've never been an MC before. But I'm gonna also talk about my previous division. Last year I was at the communication. I think the workload is, yeah, it's kind of fair though, because each time we're gonna make some event, I'm just gonna contact all of the active students, and then I'm just gonna like make the caption with Rachel as well, and it's fun here, and you won't regret if you're going to join next year. So guys, do you have any question? If you don't have, I'm gonna invite Rafael for the documentation. So please guys, turn on your camera for the documentation. Don't leave first here, because Aris will have something after this.
Okay.
Turn on your
Okay, turn
camera.
on your camera, guys. We're gonna start taking pictures for documentation. Michael, could you stop sharing your screen? Thank you. Okay, first slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, second slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, third slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're gonna have one more picture, guys, and we're gonna do the GDSC pose. So basically, you just do this with your fingers. As you can see, it's the GDSC logo. Okay. Okay, if you're ready, I can start taking pictures. First slide, 1, 2, 3. Second slide, 1, 2, 3. Third slide, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. I guess this marked the end of our session. So I hope you guys had like followed the session well. You got interested maybe in the solution challenge or in joining our joining our Google Club. So well, thank you. I guess that will be it.
Before you guys leave, I'll ask Michael to share screen for the QR code so you can fill in the attendance link and also the membership form. And I also maybe Rafael can help placing the link on the chat. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's 80 time, guys.
this is important for your SAT, guys. So don't forget.
If you already fill in the form, you may leave. And thanks for tonight's event. See you next time.